Hey y'all, and welcome to today's video. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to do a fluid change, oil change on the G56 transmission. It's going to be really interesting. So firstly, my oil. This is what I'm going with. Schaefer's SAE 50 239S. I got this on East Coast Diesel. It's cheaper than a lot of things. It's cheaper than Royal Purple and Mobile Delvac 50, which are popular options. This is an alternative to that, and people are having pretty good luck with it based on the reviews on the site. There was 18 reviews, and everyone very happy with it. So I decided to give it a try myself. I've been having great luck with Schaefer's products lately, so I'm going to try it in the G56. These are like $23 a piece or so. And depending on what you're doing, you might only need 3 of these if you're doing the standard 6-quart fill. But if you want to overfill by a quart, you'll need an extra one. So I got 4. We'll see what I do today. I'm not sure what kind of clutch I have in this truck, whether it's dual mass flywheel or if it's aftermarket single mass, single disc. I know it's not a dual disc. It doesn't act like a dual disc at all. I got something to catch our oil. I don't think we're going to need any funnels. Got some gloves. Now, 14 millimeter Allen. I've got a brand new breaker bar too. This one seems really nice. It kind of locks into different positions. So that's really cool. And then I got a ratchet, which I'll probably use instead. Now, for your standard 6-quart fill, you would just pump in your quarts through the fill plug. Other people would come up top and they would unbolt this whole shifter and pour down through there and just completely ignore the fill plug. There is another way to do it and to overfill by a quart, and that is to maybe jack up the passenger side of the truck or drive it down in a ditch, which I've got a nice ditch out here, which would put probably driver's side of the truck at least a foot higher in the air than the passenger side. So I may do that. I just want to see what's up, what kind of fluid we've got in there, because these transmissions came with ATF4, which is probably not the best. It's good for cold weather, and it's okay. You know, it's probably not as bad as people say, but I think going with your 50 weight is going to be better protection. And this is what they use in Europe. You know, the actual designers of the transmission. This transmission was developed when Daimler Chrysler was around. And so Mercedes was kind of associated with Chrysler. So that's how we got this transmission. And when they designed it, they put 50 weight oil in, particularly the Mobile Delvac. So we're going to get under there and check things out. Alright, it's pretty close quarters under here, but I'm under the passenger side of the truck. And this one up here is, I just broke it loose, is our fill plug, I do believe. There is another plug way up there, it looks like. It's right there. See, it's sticking out. That looks like another plug up there. So, I'm not sure which one we're supposed to use. We will find out, though. And then down bottom, one of the nicest things is there's a drain plug. These are both the 14 millimeter. So, I broke this one loose because we're gonna try and do the standard service at first with 6 quarts. And so, I will loosen this and see if fluid starts coming out, like pouring out. That means that the prior owner of this truck did the 1-quart overfill. Otherwise, it's probably just got 6 quarts in it. All right. Okay, here we are. We're going to want to spin this way. Push it towards the rear of the truck. Okay, so that's loose. I'm going to come up and actually take the fill plug all the way out. Okay, so that looks like ATF4. I don't know if y'all can see. It's definitely ATF4. So it looked like we're going to get a fluid upgrade today. And that would be a standard 6-quart fill of ATF4. So this thing probably has a dual mass flywheel stock clutch. And that doesn't surprise me because this truck is literally still like a bone stock truck. So, there's our plug. No shavings or anything on it. I do believe it is magnetic. Okay. And here we go. With our drain plug. Definite ATF4 right there. Now it's possible it could be an upgraded ATF4, which would be like AMSOIL or something like that. And some people do go with that. This one's got some metal shavings on it, but you know, this is not terrible. And it's okay, this has our magnet. Very little. I'll take this and clean it up while this drains. Okay, it's been sitting for a few minutes, maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes. It's not really dripping anymore, just once in a blue moon. So I'm going to put the fill plug on, careful not to drop it in our pan full of old oil. And then to tighten it down, I'm not going to use the breaker bar. I'm going to use this ratchet, so that I don't want to over tighten this. This transmission is made of aluminum. An aluminum casing. Yeah, you can tell when it's tight. All right, so next step, if you're doing the standard 6-quart treatment, you'll get out your oil and your pump. This pump was previously used with gear oil, which is no big deal for this, because if you really wanted to, you could put gear oil in this transmission. It would just smell bad. That's why I'm not going to do that. This Schaefer's doesn't have hardly any smell at all. So, let's see here. So this end, I'm actually just going to drain it out. Okay, we're back. I just wanted to set up this pump off camera. So here we go. Here's our new oil. You could see it going up. And this is what you would do until you fill 3 bottles of this in, and you're good to go. As always with the Schaefer's stuff, it's green, which is really cool. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is when this gets full, I'm going to put the fill plug on. I'm going to do a little drive around the block. I want to see how it is. And then I'm going to park in the ditch. The reason I didn't do that straight away is because I wanted it to be on a level surface for the drain. I'll catch up with y'all when I get this all pumped in. Okay, so y'all didn't miss anything. All I was doing was pumping it until it filled up. And it actually took a little over 6 quarts before it started to overflow, maybe about 6 1/4 quarts. Anyways, here's our old ATF4. You can tell just by looking at it that that's ATF4. It doesn't look terrible. It's got a little bit of a dark appearance. It's almost purple now instead of red, but it's not black. I can tell it's not blacks. It probably needed changed, but this isn't terrible. I would say it has at least 50,000 miles on it, though. Let's see. Took all 3 of these, 2 quarts a pop. There's a little bit left in the bottom of each one, and it took almost half of that one over there. So that's where I'm going to pull over for the ditch. But before we do that, let's do some first impressions, start the truck up, and take it on a quick little drive around the block. Alright, here we are. I'm pretty proud of my camera mount right now. It's wedged in the headrest. Let's fire up. Let's see. Well, I mean, that feels pretty smooth, maybe smoother than before. Wow, okay. Yeah, it's easier to get into reverse, no doubt. How about, you know, it does seem to be easier to get in gear. Let's move. Sun is probably going to be bright. We're going to be driving right into the sunset. Man, I can't see a thing. Alright. Won't have too long to go here. It's pretty smooth. Driving through water right now. Oh yeah. Oh man. Get out of the way, bird. What the heck? Man. 5th gear. Yeah, it's 5th gear is way better. Because I used to have a little knock on the shifter going into 5th. I don't have that anymore. Yeah, that was super nice. We're doing a little loop around. We're at the boat launch right now. The 3rd gear is kind of similar to before, though, in all honesty. It is better. I like it. It's not a, you know, night and day. It's just more of a small improvement. Okay. We're going to go down in the ditch, see if we can put another maybe 1/4 quart. Or no more than an extra 1/2 quart. It's already got 6 1/4 quarts in it. Alright, here we are. We're kind of in the ditch. We're on our side a little bit. This should let us get that extra few pumps of oil in there. And back behind there, that's the way I drove. The sun went behind a cloud. You can see the sun, but it's not very bright now. Really cool looking. Anyways, let's get back under there. Alright, with the daylight running a little short, it's starting to get a little darker. There's our fill plug back off. And then up here we go with our oil. Now I'm going to begin pumping again. It's a little wet under here from driving in that water. Big puddles sitting. We'll see. We won't pump too much in here. We're not going to try and fit an entire 8 quarts in. And we are done with our G56 service and oil change. Everything went well. I really enjoyed doing this transmission compared to an automatic. No pan to drop off, no, mess of fluid everywhere. No filter to change. We had a drain plug. It was really nice. Overall, very easy. Didn't have to really shift through the gears to circulate fluid throughout the transmission either. It just eliminated a lot of steps. No need to idle the truck for a long time. Just get in your truck and take it for a drive. So, for the most part, I really enjoyed doing the G56. It was the first time for me, and this oil should be good for quite a while. 50,000 miles, I would say, at least, if your truck is being worked hard. And otherwise, maybe 75, 80, 100,000 miles even might be okay. This is a lot better than that ATF4, plus we got that 1 quart overfill in there too. So I'm looking forward to see how the truck drives on the way. It's really tough to see right now, but we're going to test this out, get out on the road here with 1 quart overfill. Okay, here we are. We will get to 6th gear this time, which we haven't tried that yet. Got the light on in here so y'all can see what I'm doing. Right now. Road will be a little bumpy through this stretch. Fifth gear, and it's okay. It still shows, it still has some of the characteristics that it had before, where you feel a little bit going into certain gears. We're in 6th, getting into 6th, no problem. You still hear the clutch about the same amount. Like, it has a little bit of a whirling sound to it. Not very loud, but on a truck like this with all those cats on the exhaust, the clutch is actually as loud as the exhaust. But so far, so good. Okay, coming up here to a stop sign. I'm going to go through the gears one more time before we end the video. Use 1st gear this time, pretend like we're on a big hill or towing a trailer or something. Perfect. No one coming. Still is a little bit. Still has a little bit of the same characteristics of before. Overall, I'm pretty happy, and I think this fluid, you can probably expect a little bit tougher shifting when the truck is cold, but we've been driving for a little while. It isn't tougher to shift though, from what I've experienced so far. Even when we first took it out for the test drive, it wasn't tougher to shift. It was actually easier to shift into reverse and 2nd gear.